right, good afternoon, Team Waycross. This is our monthly city update, executed by myself. I'll take a little bit of time, wait for everyone to kind of get online, and then I'll make some open remarks about a few areas, and then of course I'll take your questions and your concerns in the chat, and try to answer as many questions as possible for the time frame that we have. And then those questions I do not answer, as a reminder, we do monitor these posts on Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. So if you kind of come back and you think about something, just come back and put that question in the chat, and then the comment section, and then we'll come back and try to reply to it the best we can. So I see we got a lot of people watching already, so I'll actually go ahead and get started. And for those that come in, I'll try to kind of circle back for some of the comments I might make that might be important. And I got a few areas I want to talk about today, starting off. And to begin, I just want to take a moment on behalf of the mayor and the commission and send out a prayer for all the families impacted adversely the past few days by accidents, by time, and by health. We recognize that the city is hurting during this moment, and the commission and the mayor want you to know that they're listening to you, they're sending you prayers, they're sending you strength. And as a community, we'll figure out how to get through this. It's just another time for reflection on some of the things we could do better, and just ensuring that we all remember about our loved ones, because time is precious and time is short. And I'll follow that point. For me personally, one thing about being in the Army is when things happen, we get together as a community and we talk about it. Regardless of how we might feel politically, spiritually, or any other difference of opinion, we get together as a community and we figure out things. I'm just asking everyone watching, who might watch later on, I recognize we have a lot of issues in the city ongoing for a lot of different reasons. I'm just asking everybody during these moments and after these moments, if we could just come together on some common solutions and figure out some things, because during my travels all around the world, I've been in some bad places, experienced some bad things, and seen the worst in people. And it's easy to fall back into that tribe for the worst when things are not going as everyone wants. So I just ask everybody to take a moment and to reflect over the past few days, once again, how short life is and why it's important to love each other, treat everyone with dignity and respect, show compassion when the compassion is needed, and we can find common ground, let's find common ground. So, like I said, we're here for you as your city, as your commission, as your mayor, to do what we can do in the healing process, and also find better ways moving forward to try to communicate better on these issues we might have. And once again, just my personal opinion, if you really take a step back and look at all our problems, and although we have quite a few, they are not that many in comparison to all the great things we have going on in the city of Waycross. And they all are solvable. They all have solutions. We just got to work a little bit harder and figure those things out. So once again, prayers sent out to those families. I won't name all the families in respect to everyone, but we recognize that you're hurting right now, and we're sending strength and prayers. Okay, with that, I'd like to move on to my update. Like I said, I don't have but a few updates this week, and like I said, we'll follow up throughout the rest of actually next month with new live streams, more focused on some of the areas that I cover, but it'll give you a better understanding of what's going on in the city, and particularly our infrastructure. I know I've been getting up updates through the city report, which we're still revising. I'm still trying to find the best way to communicate through that city report. I did take your feedback. Some of you mentioned putting jobs in there. If you didn't know, in our HR department, they do list jobs for the city, but I understand you want to know about jobs throughout the community. That's a harder task to accomplish, but I am trying to figure out a way to put some jobs availability in our report. Also, you wanted a better update on our streets and roads, on what's actually being done and completed. I'm revising that portion of the city report to make it more clearer on what we've done, what's in the planning stages, and what's in the future to come. So, and with that, I want to a quick moment to kind of explain some things about how we come to decisions with our streets and roads as far as servicing, replacing drainage and utilization. So when I first got here, we kind of, and no disrespect to the previous commission or engineers or city managers, everybody had a different system of how they come up with prioritization of our roads and streets. What I tried to do, as directed by the commission, is find out a better way to do that, where it kind of removes the biases and other outside influences that I think some of the citizens might have felt was kind of judging our decisions. So I got with our city engineer department, and they got a program called robotics. If you recall, I had that in the city report during the initial days of the city report, and I did a briefing on it some time back at some of the commission meetings. What I plan to do in the near future, well, not me, but my engineer department is going to do an update on how robotics works, how it drives our selection, and that way you all can better understand about some of our decisions. But robotics, typically what it does, it grades the streets on their condition and rates them on a scale. And then we took that rating and combined it with GDOT's data. And what GDOT does is they kind of rate the streets too, but they rate the streets on utilization and then capacity. And then we combine that using a 730 model, meaning we took 70% of the robotics data, and then we took 30% of the GDOT data, and we combined that to come up with how we would prioritize the roads moving forward. And that's how we did the 2018 splash list that I've posted a few times. I'll make sure to go back and post that here at a later date on the roads. And also a few other situations on roads, how we kind of ensure how we're going to do it. The next set of roads we have is in our tier list. And with those roads, we took a different approach. Each commissioner got with their districts, and they kind of asked a question about, what's considered the worst road in the districts. And we took 2 of those roads and put them on a tier list. So each district got 5 roads on that tier list that will be voted on, I think it's May 21st? Yeah, May 21st. And once they vote on that, we'll get that money for those roads. The good thing about the tier process is that some of that money is matched. It's not a full cost to the city. Now, in a lot of situations, a lot of our roads are matched to a certain percentage, so it does save the taxpayers dollars. That's why we try to use or take opportunity to use as many programs as possible, TIA, LMIG, All the Splash, or T-Splash, to try to save our citizens money when fixing their roads. So the so what for you is right now we're in the planning stages of about, I think it's 7 to 10 roads off that Splash 18 list. And then as soon as the vote is done for the proposed tier list, we add them to the mix. And we also are using some LMIC funds that we have and a few other sources for other roads and improvements. And you'll see that over the next few months. But so far we've done about 100 miles of road as far as pavement and cement, sewer changes, drainage changes, stuff like that. So this last year, we've got a lot done with your tax dollars. And in the upcoming, because we found a more efficient way to collect the taxes and move a little bit faster on getting our surveys done, some of the engineering work done, will be even better. And I think by doing so, we will address all your concerns that you might have out there in the city. I get a lot of calls about certain streets, Cherokee Circle, Sycamore, Grove Avenue, Gilmore Street, Oak Street. And one thing I forgot to mention, we have our partnership with the county. I think it's Sycamore Street. The county's going to take care of that for us. So much respect to the county. I feel like our relationship with them and us being better synced, it's going to also help improve a lot of our infrastructure projects moving forward. So you will see your roads and streets getting done much faster than they have done in the past. And I'm really excited about that, because I know the one thing the citizens want to get seen done is infrastructure, definitely streets and roads. So there will be a more detailed live stream done by my engineering department on this in the near future, hopefully next month, and they'll go into depth about some of our robotic science behind the roads and what we're doing for those roads to make them better. So stay tuned for that. The next thing I want to go into, and like I said, if you got some comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section. I can see those as well. I'll try to answer those questions while I'm speaking right now. I want to get back on the safety because it's still a big concern with the commission and the mayor and myself and my police chief and my fire chief and public works, pretty much everybody in the city, because we all affected evenly by safety. And not to disrespect anybody for overreaching events, but we have got to figure out a way to slow down. We got to figure out a way to obey our current lights, traffic lights, stop signs, posted speed signs, because it's hard to go implement the big corrections if we can't follow the small rules. Different with the speeding. We have a lot of speeding, and I know y'all are tired of me saying that, but I can't say it enough. We just got too much speeding going on in the city, and I'm, as directed by the commission, I'm trying my best to figure out other safety measures put in place. But like I said, if we could just follow the basic rules and just slow down, a lot of these accidents wouldn't happen the way they happen right now. So with that, I did meet with GDOT this week to discuss the Corridor Z project. I know that's been a major concern for a lot of our citizens and definitely for our commissioners in that district, in those areas. So they are doing ongoing studies, and unfortunately, these studies take a long time to do. Initially, I think I mentioned they were doing a study, what they call a utilization study, and that's pretty much the connected roads to Corridor Z, how many cars come off the connected roads, and I think you got to have so many roads in an hour. And as I expressed to them, that math might apply to certain scenarios, but as far as safety, it makes no sense. From my perspective, and they, we kind of went back and forth, and they kind of understood where we're coming from. We're more concerned about the speed of the trucks and the vehicles on those roads, and the inability for pedestrians to cross those roads. Now, I know everybody says use a crosswalk, and I will restate that again too. That's part of the process. If you have to cross the road, please use the crosswalk. But at the same time, I understand people don't really respect the crosswalk. So we're trying to do other studies. They call it near miss studies, and they can see that data from the cameras they have on their highways about when cars just miss pedestrians or when cars cross over just miss each other. And that's some good data because it really shows and paints a picture of the true problem out there in Corridor Z and Memorial Highway once you get into the city. So with that data, once collected and combined, it should be a better argument for the city of Waycross to get those safety adjustments done on those areas. I mentioned before about raised mediums. They have shown to slow people down. Raised crosswalk mediums. We are thinking about also maybe some, I don't want to call them bumper stoppers, but something to slow down the road prior to getting to the crosswalks, and also changing some of the crosswalk indicators. Right now, our lights are mostly yellow, and yellow really means slow down, proceed with caution. But we're trying to go to the new model. When a pedestrian hits that button, it goes from yellow to red, meaning stop. And we're hoping that'll have a better effect on our citizens. Additionally, we're trying to get some laser speed indicators. So when those individuals come in the city, the laser pick them up, let them know, hey, this is a 35 mile per hour zone. You're going 75. The data shows typically people, when they see that, they typically slow down. So we're trying to get a study on that. We're also looking at some other grants outside all these processes to get maybe those other ways to cross the highways. That's all in the works, but those take studies as well. So I'm just telling you, what I want to say right now is it's going to take some time, but we are working it with GDOT, both the city level GDOT people here, as well as state GDOT representatives in Atlanta. I feel really good about that. I think that once we get those new safety measures out there, that should fix the problem. But at the same time, I need to keep saying we've got to slow down. We've got to slow down. We've got to slow down. Also, if you're out there and you are drinking, please call the cab. Please call somebody in your family. I'm gonna look at something here at the city with the police chief. Maybe figure out a better way for you to call somebody, because we don't want anybody else to drive home impaired and make it worse for others on the street. So we're gonna figure that piece out too. Next piece I want to go into is about our homeless population. I know we had a few meetings about that, and I know we got some concerns from a lot of sides and point of views on that. We are trying to figure that out, a good solution for everyone. So please give us some grace. We want to fix the problem. We don't want to keep going and keep morphing to another problem. So some things we're looking at. We had a good meeting last week. We couldn't have one this week because of the circumstances with the passing of Commissioner Davis, one of our great commissioners, and a few other concerns happening in the city. So we will follow another meeting probably next week. We're still debating if we can pull that off. But during that meeting, we'll definitely discuss some of the action items that we mentioned at our meeting that could be feasible, some of the grant opportunities that's out there that we can take advantage of. I did take a few calls from other cities who actually were having seminars on their homeless programs last week, and I got some good feedback from them on some other ideas that I'm going to reach out to the team with, and then to the commission to decide if we can implement some of those changes. Well, not changes, but some of those best practices they have in other cities that seem to be working for our homeless. So with that, like I said, most of these homeless individuals, I'm talking about the ones that you can see visibly downtown, those are citizens from Waycross. So I want to treat them with dignity and respect, like we treat everybody else. We also recognize that we have a lot of families that we could be considered homeless with children, staying with relatives, staying in some group homes and other places. So we also know that's a big problem that we're trying to figure out as well. And we have support agencies every day in the fight. So I think we do have the answer. It has got to be shaped better and more understandable to everyone. And that's the first thing we got to do. And also outline the true problem that we're trying to fix. So once we do that, we'll definitely get back on live stream and invite you all to the meetings, because if you got solutions, please don't hold them to yourself. Please come see us or those agencies that deal with the homeless every day. Talk to them. One thing they need is more volunteers. You only got one or two deep in a lot of these organizations trying to do a lot of work, and it can be a lot. So they definitely need volunteer help. And with that volunteer comment, I'll move into my next topic. I know we had some concerns about some of our properties here in Waycross, the unkept properties, and I can't talk long here. I just ask that you come to our next meeting. A few meetings, you can come to the codes department meeting, or even the faith outreach meeting, or even the business meeting, because we all touch on that a little bit about some of those processes. I just want to say it does take some time to knock down an abandoned house, more time than most people realize. It is a process, and we are trying. We did get behind when COVID hit and some other factors, but we're full steam now. I did change the guidance on which homes to knock down this past year, so you're going to see a change in that, how we do that. But with the volunteers, I would just say this. We're having a meeting next Tuesday in City Chambers at, I want to say 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock. But we'll make sure I put the right time out today. But I will be talking about volunteer service. I would just say hold off on definitely going on private property. You can't do that. When I do that, I've talked to the residents. We've signed an agreement for liability insurance, and then we help that resident clean the home up. Now, that's not stopping you from neighbor to neighbor activity, because we wanna influence that, because you have a neighbor and you know that neighbor is older or disabled, somebody, or you know that person, yeah, please knock on the door, help them out. help us out and let us know that they need help that way. But that's different from the abandoned properties that might be they're mostly owned by somebody, and you just can't open their property and start stuff cleaning up without their okay. So, and we're gonna figure that piece out too. But we'll talk about it at the meeting. So anybody want to volunteer? I know we kind of put this out before. I just didn't get the traction we needed to really go further, but I'm seeing now in some of the posts that we look at on Facebook and phone calls I get that we got some groups out there that really want to, take care of the community. And we had that meeting. We'll be discussing like adopting a highway or a street or a park, like just get out there maybe every Saturday and picking the trash up, or identifying these citizens in need and set up a date and time to help them clean their yards up or cut their grass or move some of their trash. That's about take care of each other, and that's what great communities do. So I'm looking forward to that meeting when it happens. And if, like I said, we probably live streaming for those that can't come. But during that time frame, we will define the scale and scope of what can actually be done legally, and where the city can help legally, and then where the community can kind of go on their own and kind of help each other, which I'm grateful that the three people that put that together, because they've been an asset to me as far as cleaning up some properties that we cleaned up so far. So to them, thank you. And like I said, please come to that meeting and help us help each other make Waycross clean. And that's really all the notes I have for this update. The city report, I promise you, it will be out next week. Each time I make an adjustment, I get a good call from a citizen, and then I get to think I should add that too. And then I never catch up. The same thing with some of other things on Facebook we were doing in the past. We're gonna pick that back up. We just got kind of overwhelmed with a lot of issues, and we mitigated those issues now. So I think communication with the public. And with that, I will pause to see if we have any questions from anybody who may be watching. And while I'm waiting, I'll think a few other things to kind of mention, so I make sure the live stream was value added. I know the last time I spoke, I probably answered a lot of questions for the last live stream I did earlier, and it was out of cycle. But I want to make sure that we stay consistent and do these when we say we're going to do them. So sometimes if I miss this for any reason, I might come back the next day and do another one. But then we will follow up the same time, again, to stay consistent, and it might be the same information. But I don't think we can over-communicate stuff. So we'll keep going with that. I always feel better when we have a lot of comments. That means either people are listening or we're doing some good stuff out there. So that's a good thing. Or it could mean ain't nobody listening. But, I always look at things on the brighter side. So if you're not asking questions, that means we're doing some good things out there. And let's give me an opportunity to kind of highlight some of those actions. My public works, we're trying to take a different approach about keeping Waycross beautiful as far as cutting the grass. I hope you can see it. We're trying some different spraying techniques, some different ways to mow the grass. And as we're going through now, we haven't hit the peak season of grass cutting. So we're not gonna really know yet if this stuff works until that grass really decides to grow. And then once it decides to grow, we might have to reinvent ourselves again if these new ways and methods don't work. Also, you might have noticed that we took the pressure washing downtown and clean the sidewalks up. We're trying to make downtown really stand out. The downtown development, the chamber, the Waycross and Ware County development. They all have a lot of great ideas about downtown. And one thing the city owes is making it stand out and be beautiful. So there's some things we're going to do Saturday as well downtown. I can't see it right now, but we're looking at some options of just fixing a few of the aesthetics down there that might look not pleasing. But you see a change in that next week when you come downtown. Let me take that back. Once you come down for First Friday, this next First Friday, I want everybody to come down. You're going to see some different changes downtown with some of those areas that were not that pleasing. So we're working hard to make that happen. And I'm still waiting to see if anybody has any questions. I was thinking we would have more questions on the streets and roads, but I see not. So what I will do, though, like I said, I think it's fair that we provide a clear update of all the streets that are going to be worked on here in the near future. So I'm going to try to get my, not try, going to get my engineering department. We're going to put those roles, list them. I put it in the on Facebook one time before, and also in the city report. But I want y'all to really kind of see. I'm going to pull some stuff apart so you can actually see these are the roads that's up next, potentially, and let you see, so you understand. I think for the most part, we are hitting the major roads that I think everybody is concerned about. And there's some other roads on there that might be affecting maybe one or two people. I just ask you for your grace on that, because we got to hit those roads that affects everybody first, and then go to those other smaller roads. Although they might be, well, ain't no might be, they probably just as rough to ride on. I fully understand, but we got to hit the ones that get traffic the most. And then even with that too, I hope you see the striping is going on, definitely downtown and select other locations. We're trying to do that more for safety, because like I said, we recognize some of our stop signs might not be in the right place or the stopping line. So we're trying to go back and kind of figure that out too. So my public works director, Mr. Smart, he is on that job. He does a great job with that. So if you see him around town, please thank him, because he's got a hard job right now of making all this work, along with my engineering department and the rest of the team. We all trying to do a little bit more this year, that you can see, that you can visualize, and hopefully it resonates with you better. Because like I said, we're really trying to show the citizens that, all your dollars count. We're trying to manage that money the best way we can. But as you all know, inflation affects us as well on the cost of materials. So I got to be really careful how we do that. When we make decisions on what street to do or not to do. But we do have a long-term plan to address all the streets. Now we're talking about over 350 streets. I might not be here then. It might take a few decades, So, but we're trying to put something in place so that the next person can kind of build on that and have a true pathway or some milestones to keep that going without always stopping. When we change person to person or commission to commission. Okay. As you see there, we got the Fresh Friday come up a little different. That's Cinco de Mayo. I think I know what that means. So please come out and support that. I want to say we have some new business open. They should be opening. Our latest two restaurants. Maybe somebody jump in the comments and correct me on that. But I think we have some grand openings that same Friday. This once again, this is a combined collaborative event put on, led by the Chamber and Downtown Development, and City helping out with it. So it's gonna be a great event. Please come out. I know there's always some mention of the time, so please, we did a little bit of time adjustment, but just remember the folks putting it together. We're a little older, so we can't be out like some of you young citizens. But I want the young citizens to please come out. This is one community. Like I said earlier, we've got to get it back to being one community and spending time with each other. Not just the bad time, but definitely having the good time. Let's get out here and have some fun with each other. I might even pull out that old Dunkin' booth and put some city employees in there for y'all that don't like them. I know everybody is after Chief Edmonds. He made a lot of money for it during the Swamp Fest. So and Commissioner Nelson. So maybe throw them back out there again, just to have some fun. I think that's part of Cinco de Mayo. Some kind of we put on a hat on that little seat right there. We'll put a hat on for them and see what happens. But just a suggestion, So anyway, if you got time, please come out there and support that. That makes downtown thrive, and also help your families have fun. All right. And I don't want to stop too early, and then some of y'all getting here late, so I stopped too early. So can somebody let me know that we covered everything? Somebody in the audience. Is there any other comments y'all like to hear today, or something answered? All right, team, it's a new one. Since the first time we started this, normally we have a lot of questions, and I feel like obligated to just stay on now, but I'm guessing we are G to G. Maybe I answered some questions they had already had. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Jason. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Let me highlight Jason. Y'all can see him down in the comments. He's one of our key stakeholders here. He's the driving force behind job creation here. I don't know if we've done a good enough job explaining how that works. Jason comes to our meetings, our business development meetings, and he works hand in hand with Mr. Simmons and in our core department as well, just make sure people get here. But he is a driving force to get in business here. And we have businesses coming here. I know everybody, you might can't see it, and we're all working on a plan to better articulate or better provide you a better vision of what's coming to Waycross. And we got a lot of stuff coming here. We can't always speak on it sometimes just because of the nature of the business. And we want them to get here first and dig some dirt out the ground first and then talk about it. Just 2 shovels of dirt. Once that's done, we can go with it. But we got a lot of people coming here. And I know we have some stuff in the works that will be led by, I think, the 2 colleges and a few of our business owners as far as prepping those citizens who want those jobs, prepping you for that type of work. The city, we can't really get involved with that, outside of just promoting it. But like I say, if you got some questions about what's going on, definitely reach out to all those other shareholders we have. Just, ask your questions because it's important to be in the know. And like I said, we're about, anywhere from 2 to 3 years of all these businesses getting here and being in place. And once that's happened, the community just going to thrive. We do have, I got a text earlier that I meant to mention. We do have some investors coming in looking at land for homes. So that's a great thing too. We need more homes for workforce development, but also just to have our kids come back here. That's one thing. When we poll Mr. Simmons, he polls a lot of the city's citizens. That's one thing that comes back to our children or your children. When I say children, we're talking about 30-year-olds now, so they're grown people. But it's hard to come back to Waycross with our current housing inventory. So they want to come back to, better homes. They want their own homes, new homes, or apartments where they don't have to do much of maintenance. So all that's a factor. But the good thing is we have investors looking at Waycross as a potential spot for a new investment. So it's coming. So, and I want to say too, like I said, thank y'all for the comment. We're definitely trying to do our best for our citizens, because I think the commission has said this numerous times. The citizens, that's the first priority, and then everything else. So we're trying to really, put that out there in place so citizens can really feel that. I know there's a few citizens that doesn't, you haven't really got on board yet. But like I said, we're not free from criticism. Let us know. Let us know what we're doing wrong so we can do it better. And then more than that, though, man, be part of the solution. I know that, what's the quote, be the change you want to see in the world? That applies to everybody. Everybody. We try to get up every day here in the City Hall and bring value to the community. No matter nobody's feeling, they gotta try to bring value as best they can to the citizens. Sometimes we don't get it right. It's difficult sometimes as far as my engineer department and my public works and ESG and my water teams, and you figure out some of these drainage problems. You're talking like 50, 60 years. You got to do a lot of digging before you find a problem. And I know while we're doing all that digging, it's taking a long time, might be adversely affecting that citizen in that house. So just know we're trying our best. It just takes some time, to figure out some of these problems, because they are decades-old problems. And, we got a good team down there now. We got a good drainage team, sewer water team. So it's just taking a little bit of time. But I think right now the good thing they're doing, I feel like we're moving away from the Band-Aid patch paint standards and not going to the fix field standards. And that's what we want to do, because once we fix something, we're gonna keep paying for it every year. And that's what we've done in the past. And once again, no disrespect for somebody in the past, but certain funding was not available back then. Certain grants were not available back then. Certain technology was not available back then. So all they had to do was, in some cases, take the hammer and the shovel and dig and figure out stuff. And we do that now. We got cameras and all kind of stuff to make that easier. But once you figure out the problem, sometimes it's hard to fix. So shout out to everybody out there on those teams doing great work for the city, take care of the citizens. All right. So I ask again, because I know this goes for about an hour, but I want to just sit here and look at at the screen. But is anyone else out there have any questions about anything? I know I covered a few topics, but the parks, yes. So they're through the design stages, and we're currently in the bidding stages of the parks. That should start happening is, once again, shovel the dirt around late July. So, which also will be the same time frame some of our streets start getting done. So I think I said before, that means a lot of traffic and a lot of construction going on in the city. So once again, we're going to slow down and pay attention to what's going on. We're going to have to pay attention to what's going on. So that's a good problem, though, to see all that construction going on, because stuff's getting done. So like late July, you'll see, like I said, those 3 parks kind of get done. We also got some other funding for 2 other parks. So you'll see some other things going into place here in the near future. And hopefully, I know you got to travel summertime, the kids out of school, so I get that. But if you can, we're trying to do some activities this summer for everybody here that can't afford to leave and go travel. So we're trying to do something for families here over the summer. So if you got some creative ideas that we could do for those families that can't afford to travel out of the country or to Florida or to the beach, let us know. And hopefully it can be cost-free, although everything has a cost. We want to make sure that we find those things. Okay. So I did have a meeting also this week. I know downtown had talked about the trash service down there. I walked the city this morning with my public works director and our service provider from Ryland. So we had a good meeting. We did incorporate your ideas mentioned from the group. We're going to follow back up with you next week to make sure this is what y'all want to do. Everything y'all asked for, we can do. And in some situations, it might be even more cost efficient for everybody to make this transition. But we want to make sure that everybody votes counts and everybody has understanding what we're going to do as far as new direction. So if I can't do a meeting next week from that, then either the public works director will probably come online and discuss what we're going to do changes wise, or he'll do his own live stream and kind of mention he'll be here with our service provider for trash collection. They'll kind of talk it over for you. All right. I'll give it a few more minutes. Okay. Another question yesterday too. So I know we had a historical home that was knocked down this week. I hope y'all can understand. It does get to a point where those structures are unsafe. And with them being next to highways, and that's why I'm trying to knock all the homes down that are unsafe next to all our major movers. That's Ozzie Davis, that's Corridor Z. Those 2 being the main, Albany Avenue to a degree. Those being the main 3 roads where those homes, because those roads are the most utilized. When the bricks fall off or the roof fall off or some blows off, there's a chance of causing a lot of injury because we're already speeding down that road. So I get it. Those historical homes, and they were beautiful at one point in time, and but unfortunately, either that family has the heirs have moved on or no longer here, and we just can't maintain it. So with that, I'll say this: hopefully, outside of the city can hear this as well. If you want to sell those homes, we have a bidding process. It's, that you can come to the meetings. We're all for that. Nobody wants to just tear them down and be tearing them down, but they get to a certain point, they become dangerous, and not just because they're falling apart, but because they also can house other stuff, and when go unattended. So we have to knock those homes down. And like I say, next week we're gonna knock down another home on Ozzie Davis. I know everybody sees that pretty yellow house. I walked it this morning, and I if I could do it, I would. That's a beautiful home, but unfortunately, it's a site. The way the highway is made now, it's in the sight line, so it's already dangerous because of the sight line, and the trees are growing, close to the right of way, and it's starting to fall apart. So we just can't let it go anymore. So you're gonna see that come knocked down next week, and that's unfortunate. But we have to do these things, y'all. For one, safety first. That's a primary reason. 2, aesthetics. We want the city to be beautiful. We got a lot of homes that probably need to come down, And three, nobody's maintaining these homes. Just be honest. If we had some way to maintain them in our budget, I would. And you're correct. Some of them are salvageable. So I say this again: if you want to save one of these homes, come see me today. Well, don't come see me. Go see Mr. Hawkins upstairs, and get on the calendar for the meeting and give us a plan, and we will work with you. But you got to stick with that plan. Okay. Just want to say that because I saw a lot of comments yesterday about why we were knocking that house down, and just might to be done. All right. So no questions on the streets and roads. We sure? I know that Miss Martin from the Southern Region came down and did. I think she shot a podcast video, and she sat down with me and did another video and did another meeting. So I know she's way smarter than me at this stuff. So that's probably why y'all don't ask me any questions, and that's fine. So that means that she did a great job explaining stuff. I cannot promote the TIA coming up. I can only tell you, whatever your decision is your decision. But it's helping the city right now do a lot of improvement for you because we need our streets redone, and I'm not sure I could do any other kind of way with the money we got coming in. So, but she's also going to come down a little bit more. I think maybe next month to go into a little bit more for you. If you have any more questions on that time and date and place will be put out here shortly, and we'll go from there. Okay. Yeah, so please take advantage of that. We still have dumpsters out right now. It goes through, actually, it'll go through the first week in May to get that district a fair opportunity. Please use them. It's free to you. I was telling somebody the other day, can't say the name, but it was about doing illegal dumping. And I said, but you ain't got to do that. Got a whole free service for you. It's already in your truck. Just take it to that bin and throw it in there. You got to do this. And they did. So, and I asked them why. They said they didn't know about the dumpster service, and we're still trying to figure that out. I know we don't reach everybody a lot of times, so if you could just share that, the dumpster's still out there, and we might do it again. Like I said, we're going to do it again in October, but that's more for the vegetation. So it's a slight difference there. But even with that, I go back to what I said earlier. If you are a citizen in need, you're elderly, disabled. Let me take that back. We got some strong elderly people here. If you're disabled, meaning you can't lift stuff, let us know. We'll come out and help you out. We got some volunteer groups. The city can do certain things. Help us help you, and we'll take care of you. And that could be anything outside of tires and paint. But that's another whole conversation that we'll talk about another time. So, just make sure I'm missing the comments. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for that. Like I said, we're trying our best to support you. In my small mind of thinking, I was hoping maybe in 3-4 years we won't need dumpsters no more because we'll get rid of all the trash. But that's a far dream. But that's the goal, to make these dumpsters irrelevant again by getting rid of all this trash and debris and moving it somewhere else. So that's the goal down the road. I want to make sure before I drop off, I didn't miss anything. Any of our meetings. I did miss one meeting. I'm looking to the room right now. So that resource meeting, can we post that when we have that meeting about the realization with Georgia Power, Action Pack, and a few other key stakeholders? That's very important. We're gonna live stream that meeting too, but it's gonna be good to talk about just getting ready for this summer when the rates go up with your homes. It won't reduce all the bill, but it'll help you reduce some of the bill. That's the key thing, is to reduce some of the bill, and that way, especially those that's on fixed income, you're not always, caught between paying for this and paying for that. So they're gonna post when it's gonna be. It'll be in May, and I'll say this too: if you have somebody that can't be there, because this is really targeted for our elderly population, because they qualify for more grants than maybe the rest of us do. But please, if you are a family member, you have a grandmother or a mother or somebody, please attend that meeting and kind of get the information for them. and so they can know, because in some cases it's gonna be who puts in first for these grants, then for the weatherization, because everybody's home will not get weatherized. Now it's gonna be some volunteers and some other people that's gonna come behind that and do it for you, but it won't be everybody. So as far as getting that grant to do it. So once they post that date and time, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the auditorium. Just please kind of go out there and show your support for the individuals putting that together. And we're thinking about doing the same thing in regards to our citizens in need. And when I say citizens in need, I'm talking about our homeless population on the streets. I'm talking about our homeless children. I'm talking about our homeless families. I'm talking about our battered families. I'm talking about some of our low-income families. That's our citizens in need population. So we're going to get away from saying just homeless or stuff like that, because it can send the wrong message. We have citizen needs as a banner that incorporates a lot of different segments of the population. So in some cases, bringing jobs here will fix some of that. In some cases, just getting better organized and synced with the departments that handle stuff, making like a roadmap from here to here to here to get Social Security, to get on the housing list, to do these things, that'll fix that. In some cases, making sure that we get a way for these some of the citizens to make their appointments that might be suffering some mental fatigue, that'll help that. And then in some cases, it's just about volunteer service, just getting out here and helping. I think Miss Spivey's team at Oath when they do the feeding. There's some other things they do out there, just helping them out. Definitely during the winter months, getting these some of the citizens in need out of the cold. It's going to be great. So I'm not sure when we're going to do that, but I think we've kind of talked a little bit about it. But it'll be that same concept, bringing all the resources to the same location, and then the hard task will be getting those families and those citizens in needs to that location. And I feel like if we can do that maybe once a month or twice a month, and make it be the standard, we can touch a lot of people and help a lot of people, and then kind of go from there for the ones that we cannot help, which hopefully will be a small amount. So okay, yeah, you see they posted the dumpsters in Monroe Park right now, and then you see the resource fair. So, and that's going to be a great deal. I think the Mr. Simmons, the business integration director, might speak on that later on prior to the actual session, just kind of give you some more clarity on why we're doing it. And this, like I said, it's a joint collaboration with Georgia Power, Action Pack, and a few other organizations that want to make sure that we do everything we can to just make our homes more efficient. So the energy efficient department of Georgia Power is coming down, which is a great plus for us. And like I say, it ain't just about like getting additional monies and funding. It's about, hey, fixing your home, understanding how your bill works, understanding how your home heats and all those things to kind of save you money. So I'm looking forward to that, because like our citizens' needs, it's going to really impact their lives. All right. So technically, I got 10 more minutes. I looked at my timer. So I'll stay a little bit longer just to see if anybody has anything they want to talk about. All right. So we're gonna do a post about all the upcoming funeral services. In some cases, we're still checking with the families to verify if they want a small session or a large session. But we're trying to get them some respect and grace during their time of need. I can't speak on Commissioner Davis' funeral. So the viewing will be, I think, at 5. And can we put that on here too as well, team? We may do it right now, but just put the dates and time on there. So it's a Saturday event. Yeah, it's already posted. Okay, yeah, it's already posted as far as Mr. Davis's time. And with that, Commissioner Davis was a great commissioner. That's just my assessment and my personal opinion. He's one of the first people that kind of made me feel like family when I got here. It was kind of rough the first 2 or 3 months here, but he was one of the calming influences on me on how to do my job more effectively without making it confrontational. He pulled me aside, told me things to look at, things to understand, things to tack on hard, things not to tack on so hard, and I really appreciate him. It's definitely as a mentor to me during my time here. He gave me guidance, in my particular way that I could receive it better and execute better. He didn't ask for much, but he really stood up for his district. So I appreciate everything he's done for the city of Waycross and actually for the country. I'm not sure if many of you know all the things Commissioner Davis did in his young life. He might not ever know, but he was one of those individuals who actually did the work. He ain't talking, he did the work. He was the change he wanted to see in the world, and he stayed committed to his city and his community. So I'm gonna miss him. But with the rest of the services and the funerals, we'll try to post those with the recommendations and permission of those families. If not, if we don't post it, I will say I'm pretty sure that somebody knows somebody. Just check with them. If you want to help out with the families, try me to contact them directly and kind of go from there. But I will say, just talking to a few of them yesterday, they are still grieving. This is still fresh for some of them. So just be understanding of that. It's still fresh for them. Even though you might want to help, like right now, we might have to give them some more time, or even after the fact, after they've transitioned their family member, because it does. These are mostly their children. In one case, a baby. So we gotta, give a little bit of grace on how they respond to everyone right now. So, but like I said, once again, if we get the information and okay by the family, we'll put it out best we can. Just ask for your continued support, continued prayers to those families, and like I said, be the change you want to see. This is Team Waycross. This is Family Waycross. We got great things coming up in the past. We got great citizens getting together and being the action people. I'm so proud to say I don't post it a lot of times, but I've been to certain things I do, and citizens that walked up and said, "Let me help you out, city manager," and they see that before. So we got a lot of people. Some of the basketball teams who put that together, they're great mentors for some of the young men here. So we got a lot of people in the city that's really trying to make the city better. So that's the most important thing. Let's all do the work. Let's make it better. We do have a lot to do. Don't get me wrong, and we might disagree on quite a lot of issues, but I really believe we can find common ground on those issues, and we can move forward with positive solutions. That's long term and not band-aid fixes. That's cost efficient, and it really solves the problem. And if we don't have any more questions, I thank you for your time. Team Waycross, we're going to sign off. If you want to, make sure you just come back. If you have questions, put in the comments. We will be watching these comments as well as our YouTube page, and we'll answer those questions as we see them. Thank you very much, and have a good day.